Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new member induction ceremony for the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. We will be getting started in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to ask that my board members please join me on stage as we get ready. For the rest of you, if you can please find your way to a seat. For those of you guys, if you have open seats next to you, if you could just raise your hand for the last few folks coming in that are looking for a good place to sit, just let folks know that there are seats next to you. And again, we'll be getting started in about 5 minutes. So if you could find your way to your seats, these photo stations will absolutely still be open after the ceremony too, we promise. And there is food to come too. So 5 minutes. Good morning once again. It is 10 o'clock, so let's get this thing started. How are we doing today? Welcome to the 2023 new member induction ceremony for GCU's chapter of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. Let's kick this morning off with a quick video.
Everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to the new member induction ceremony for the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. This is an important occasion and we really appreciate you being here. So to all our inductees, to their guests, and all those joining us today, we say welcome. In the words of Jonathan Edwards, all kinds of knowledge that we can ever obtain, the two most important are the knowledge of our God and knowledge of ourselves. In John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. I'm an American history teacher. Sometimes I get things mixed up. John Bunyan in Pilgrim's Progress writes about that there's this thing called knowledge, and then there's knowledge. Okay? And knowledge is the resting on the contemplation of the things that we learn, whether it's chemistry or accounting or calculus or psychology, whatever those kind of things. It's resting on that knowledge. And then that other knowledge comes from grace and from faith. It's when God puts his will on our hearts. So today we celebrate you. We celebrate those who follow in the footsteps in that pursuit of knowledge. And so I ask you to join me in a word of prayer as we ask God to join us here. Our Father, our God, author of all knowledge, we come before you today to give you all honor and praise. You are the source of all that is good. You are the source of all of our blessings. We thank you for today to celebrate these inductees, their journeys, their achievements, their future contribution that you will enable them to further your kingdom. We thank you for the university, a beacon of light to our community, a refuge of liberty to follow your will, a center of learning to discover that all that you have created and all that you have given to this world. Of all the kinds of knowledge that we can ever obtain, the knowledge of you, O Lord, and the knowledge of ourselves is what we embrace most. We ask that your hand of blessing on this event and all that are gathered here, we ask that you be glorified through this celebration and through this recognition. Thank you for being our help, our teacher, our Savior, this day and forever. Amen.
All right, once again, good morning and welcome to the 2023 new member induction ceremony for the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. My name is Dr. Brianna Nagley, and I have the privilege of serving as the Dean for the Honors College here at Grand Canyon University. And I also serve as the chapter sponsor for GCU's NSCS chapter. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what NSCS means, our pillars, why this community is so important to us here at GCU. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit in a moment. But I would like to first and foremost acknowledge and welcome our inductee class of 2023. If you are an inductee here today, will you please stand? Congratulations and thank you so much for joining us. Please stay standing, because we also have thousands of viewers joining us live online from YouTube. So if you can look back at that camera for me and give a wave and say thank you for joining us online. We appreciate you. Let's congratulate our online inductees joining us live from YouTube, and for those who couldn't be here in person today. Now, inductees, I think we all know it takes a village. There's a lot of sleepless nights, late nights of homework, DQs, participation on a weekly basis. And I'm sure someone in this room has been there to support you to get you through those moments. So can we take a moment to thank the friends and family and guests that have joined us here today to support us along our academic journey? Thank you. You may be seated. So before we go on much further, I would like to introduce you to a few key folks that have really been a strong support system for this chapter here at Grand Canyon University, and also to support today's event. So first, I would like to acknowledge our leadership board. So leaders, as I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Ariana Nelson serves as our chapter president. Jason Pipton is our executive vice president. Danielle Porton is Vice President of Community Outreach. Andrea Lopez, Vice President of Public Relations. Natalie Osborne, Secretary and Treasurer. And Heather All is our Vice President of Online Member Engagement, joining us from YouTube Live. And our co-advisor, Anya Konfrancesco, who unfortunately couldn't be here in person today, but is joining us from Ukraine on YouTube Live this morning. You may be seated. And as many of you guys have experienced thus far, our university leadership is a huge supporter of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars in this chapter. One of the most beautiful things about our chapter here at GCU is that it combines our traditional campus students here on the Phoenix campus and our online learners from all over the globe. And so it creates a really vibrant and vivacious community for these students to come together for mentorship, for fellowship, and for that sense of community. This is where you really feel the one LOPE environment, right? It doesn't matter where you live, where you're from, how you complete your online coursework. We are all in this journey together. And so we are very proud to have our online and our campus students here to celebrate together. And again, for the families and guests that are joining your inductees as we celebrate this remarkable occasion and the achievements that have been reached to date. Now, I would also like to call out a few of our faculty guests who are here, again, on a beautiful Saturday morning, making their way to campus to support this chapter. Please join me, again, Dr. David Dean, faculty of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and a distinguished honored guest with NSCS. And we have Rick Holbeck, who is our Executive Director of Online Instruction. We have Greg Lucas, our faculty chair. And Scott Hoveter, another faculty chair. And Colin Witherspoon, faculty chair. So again, tremendous support, but none of it would be possible without our fearless leader, our university provost and chief academic officer. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Randy Gibb.
All right. Good morning. All right, good morning. Here we go. Let's do this. Great to see everybody. I'm honored to share some thoughts with you. First, though, thank you to Bree and her team for hosting this event, putting it on. This is phenomenal. We celebrate our students. You are our students, our LOPEs, and this is an important event. So thank you very much. Congratulations for the honors induction. It's fun to see you all here to celebrate. Enjoy campus and enjoy the beautiful sunny weather of Phoenix, Arizona. For those of you who traveled, welcome to Phoenix. I'm going to share a couple perspectives on servant leadership. Trust me, our world needs your Christian-based servant leadership from you now more than ever, right? The world is interesting, crazy place, but we all are leaders, be it one person, 30 or 40. So I just want to share some stories, perspectives, 3 different stories here very briefly. So leadership is kind of like being a parent, right? Anybody a parent in here? Yeah, right? You never stop being a parent, regardless what age your kids are, correct? My wife and I have 4 children, 5 grandchildren, and it's a ton of fun, but it's difficult, right? Tough love. boundaries, building confidence, feedback, encouragement, and that sounds like leadership, is working with your teams, and you want to see them flourish, succeed, and yet at the same time, how do you hold people accountable? It's tough. It's tough to be a leader. So a year ago, a little over a year ago, we had a gentleman named Bob Chapman on campus. And I'd gotten to know Bob over the years through our work with conscious capitalism. And so we were thrilled to have Bob on campus. He is CEO, and he's been named the number 3 CEO in the world, the top CEO another year of a $3.3 billion company that does manufacturing and engineering out of St. Louis called Barry Waymiller. Has anyone ever heard of Bob Chapman? Yeah, it's not a, they make packaged goods, boxes, things that maybe you take for granted. But he has nearly 8,000 employees. So how did he create this amazing culture in such a large, diverse company? He wrote a book, and that's where I first got introduced to him and his stories. And it's about leading, loving, and the extraordinary power of caring, because everybody matters. So it's so simple, right? And sometimes the most powerful, strongest things are also the most simple. 2 of his perspectives happen to be hit him as he shares these stories when he was at church. So the first story is he was at a wedding, a friend's wedding. And as he was watching the beautiful young bride come down the aisle and then standing up front with the groom and hearing the vows from the pastor marrying them, he kept looking at the pastor and then the young bride and then the bride's father. Anybody been the father of the bride in here? Yeah, I have, so I relate to this story. So as they're saying the vows, he's like, do you take this woman? Are you going to care for her, treat her, love her, moving forward? And Bob shares in his story that he's looking at the father thinking, he's a different, possibly, words in his mind. Like, all right, buddy, this is my precious child. I poured my life into her for 25 years, and now I'm handing her over to you. You better love her and care for her, right? It's that kind of mentality. And that's when it hit Bob that everybody who works at Barry Waymiller is someone's precious child. And how does his company, how does he and his leadership team treat every single person? Because everybody matters, and everybody has a God-given gift that they can bring to the team, the world, and they are someone's precious child. So for him, that was a point of saying, I need to do different. I was taught management, but that's not right. We need to be leaders and love and care for our people. So hopefully that resonates with you the way when Bob shares it, since I'm stealing his story. But that's powerful. So again, everybody you work with is someone's precious child with a God-given gift. The next story, also at church, appropriately enough, was when he was sitting there in congregation and a powerful message is being delivered by the pastor, and people leave inspired and encouraged, ready to take on the world. And again, it hit Bob thinking, wait a minute, this pastor, this church has people for 1, maybe 2 hours a week. In my leadership, this is Bob speaking, we have people for 30, 40 hours a week. How can we let people become and lead and love and care, that they become the best version of themselves to 30 hours a week? We can become a healing organization with the time that we have with these people on our team, all who are someone's precious child. So just think about that. Think of the team that you're with. Think of the hours we spend at work. I think about our team here. It's a Saturday. We're pushing 40 plus hours, 50 hours a week. We have to be able to love and care for one another, right? So hopefully those 2 messages from Bob resonate with you certainly as strongly as they resonate with me and anybody else that Bob shares that message with. The third story, briefly, I thought one of them needed to come from me, was my background and experience as an Air Force pilot. I was an instructor pilot, so flying with very young, well, I was 24, they were 22, teaching people how to fly a supersonic jet trainer. And soloing a T-38 is a big deal. A lot of people wash out of pilot training if they can't land a T-38 aircraft. It's swept wings, it takes off at 160 miles, it lands about 120 miles an hour. So it's pretty sporty. And I was with Doug, one of my favorite students of all time. And I could tell he was struggling and he wasn't sure of himself. He wasn't confident. And we flew a sortie, and depending how it went, he was either going to solo or he would fail. And in pilot training, if you fail 3 rides in a row, you're basically washed out of pilot training. So every flight, every sortie is like a final exam. A lot of stress. So we flew, and Doug did okay, but he wasn't that strong. And I was wrestling. Do I put my wings on the line? Do I let Doug solo? I certainly don't want him to kill himself, kill somebody else, destroy a multi-million-dollar airplane. A big decision that I needed to make for Doug. So we go back, we land. I'm still wrestling. You know, I'm not sure what we're going to do. We start debriefing, and I could just tell by Doug's body language that he knew I was not going to solo him. He thought he failed. I kind of surprised myself, and I know I surprised Doug, and I said, Doug, great job. You're going to go solo. Let's do this. And he was kind of like shocked. I don't think he thought I believed in him enough. But the fact was, I ended up believing in him more than he believed in himself, and that's what he needed. So again, in terms of leadership, think about how we can build people up, going back to parenting. Everybody is someone's precious child, the time we spend with them. And so Doug went out, and trust me, it's a lonely walk to the airplane, first time by yourself. It's a quiet taxi ride to number 1 for takeoff by yourself. But the last words I said to him was, Doug, you can do this, and just make sure you land that first landing. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be ugly, but just put that sucker down so you know you can do it. So sure enough, I went out to the little runway supervisor unit to watch him. And again, first landing was not the best, but it didn't matter. He did it. And then every landing after that, he got better and better and better. And years later, he told me, because we crossed paths in the Air Force, he went on to a 20-year career serving his country, flying C-130s, Hercs. He told me years later, he goes, you know, Randy, I was scared to death, and I didn't think you were going to solo me. And I was like, I didn't know I was going to do that either. I mean, we both had a good laugh. We're like, but I just felt you could do it. You just needed somebody to let you know that they believed in you. And sure enough, he went on and did great things. So my ask to you, as I close, is who can you get behind? Who can you send out the door solo when they themselves are not sure they can, right? Whose precious child is in your care to love and support and allow them to flourish under your leadership? And who do you spend 30-plus hours a week with that you can reflect and say, I can pour into them even more. I can love and care and support them on my team. You may not know the impact of your decisions, the impact of your leadership and support, building people up, but give them the wings, right, to go fly solo. Now, leadership is hard, as I stated earlier. How do you hold people accountable while you try and love and care and support them? It's not easy. And there will be adversity. So let me finish with John 33:16. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, let's keep the applause going for Dr. Randy Gibb, our provost, our chief academic officer. Thank you for joining us and being here today. So now I would like to talk and transition back to the National Society of Collegiate Scholars, what this means, what this organization stands for, and give you a little bit of the history. So first and foremost, NSCS was founded in 1994 at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. by founder Steve Laughlin. NSCS is now comprised of more than 300 active college chapters across the country, and with more than 140 new chapters currently in development. So you are joining a strong community, a national community of scholars through the NSCS organization. Our local chapter here at GCU was founded in August of 2014, and in true GCU fashion, we have grown since then to be the largest and most active chapter in all of NSCS. Over the last 2 years, we have inducted more than 5,000 new members. We have more than 7,000 NSCS alumni from the GCU chapter out there on a daily basis, making an impact, serving their community, and leading through their faith and character. So we are abundantly proud of the community that we have built here with NSCS. Here's a few accolades that I am tremendously proud of. And again, this goes out to the entire NSCS community, our board members, and the leadership here at GCU that has made this all possible. In both 2020 and 2021, our chapter here was named a platinum status chapter, which is an honor awarded to only the top 10 performing chapters out of the 300 plus that exist across the country. So that is platinum status, 2 times running, 3 times since our inauguration in 2014. But there's more. In 2022, we were named the Diamond Status Chapter. You've got it. There is one higher than Platinum Status, and that goes to one chapter, the top performing chapter in the country on an annual basis under Ariana's leadership. Ariana, can you please stand? She has been on our board 2 years running. And she has been a huge player in developing the community that exists here at GCU. So for 2022 and 2023, we are NSCS's Diamond Chapter Status, and we are so excited for that. That is a huge accolade. Now, never in the history of NSCS have they given diamond status to the same chapter 2 years running, but we are live on YouTube, so I will gladly say we're going for it. And that is our goal and our aspiration for the 23-24 academic year as well. So let's do this. We have also been recognized for both our online member engagement and for our Integrity Week initiatives. And those are really important to us because those are incredible values that we hold tight to us here at GCU, not exclusive to the NSCS community, but at Grand Canyon University as a whole. Our commitment to faith, character, and integrity is absolutely foundational to what we do here in our GCU community. So when we can use NSCS as a platform to spread that word and spread that message and empower our students to embrace integrity, that is really deep and meaningful for us. So to be given the recognition and to be given an accolade for our efforts with Integrity Week, that is hugely valuable for us. And again, as I mentioned before, we include online students in our chapter. That is not something that is common across many universities and their chapters across the country, but we are committed to a one LOPE foundation. Our online, our ground students together make up the NSCS community. So with that, we are proud that we are also recognized for the work and effort we do for our online members. So again, a huge congratulations to our board members, but to the members that make up the NSCS community. And Dr. Gibbs so beautifully alluded to this, but the pillars for NSCS are scholarship, leadership, and service. Those of you who are getting inducted, I will tell you right now, this is not a typical club or organization where you can sign up and join and just make your way in. You have to meet a minimum criteria based off your GPA, so you have to show that commitment to academic excellence. You have to show a commitment to leadership and service. Those are the foundational pillars for NSCS, and you have to earn the invitation to join. So this is not something you can say, that sounds like a great idea, my Saturday's open, let me just show up for this induction ceremony. You are all invited because you have a minimum 3.4 GCU GPA or greater. So when we talk about the Honors College at Grand Canyon University, these honor societies is how we really stretch our wings and fly and bring those online students in to be a part of the experience. So we are grateful to recognize each of you. Now, I want to get to the moment we've all been waiting for, which is formally inducting and allowing our newest members to cross the stage. Before I do that, I just want to confirm all inductees should have seen this name card at check-in. If this does not look familiar, I invite you to visit our check-in staff real quickly. This is what we're using to call your names throughout today's ceremony. So again, hopefully this looks familiar and we completed this at check-in, but these are the name cards for today's ceremony. Now, as we get going, I'll explain a little bit of the process, and then I'll have our board members take their places so we can support you through the induction. So names will be called in a randomized order. Unless you're called first, then you're clearly our favorite. Just kidding. Names are called in a randomized order. We wanted to ensure our inductees could sit with their friends and their family and not be separated for this special occasion. So it is in a randomized order, and we will call those names. Please remain seated until your name is called. Once your name is called, you will enter stage left. So my left, your right. You will cross the stage and accept your membership pin. You will exit stage right, so your left, and return to your seat. Now, we will be inclined to want to stop and take photos, and if you are supersonic fast, we can make that work. But for the most part, these photo stations will be available after today's ceremony so that you can take those photos. We do want all of our folks to return to their seats so we can continue the program, the oath of membership, and those remaining pieces. So at this time, I'm going to ask that my board members please take their spots. And then Greg and Scott, if you would like to join us on stage. All right. Now, because we only host our induction ceremony one time a year, we do have some board members who have not yet crossed the stage, which also allows them to be the model for how this will all work. So let's hope that we get this correct. Otherwise, you will be removed. Just kidding. Jason Piptone, and Natalie Osborne. See, stage left, they're following the memo, the handshakes. The steps is the hardest part, so just execute it to perfection. All right, so once again, please remain seated until your name is called. Tiffany Shuttler.
Tiara Todd.
Valeria Rosas.
Tiffany Dake.
Harley Urose.
Brenton Tolbert.
Aubrey Medina.
Nicola Radigan.
Kayla Lambert.
Sydney Hogue.
Andrew Tanzen.
Hannah Smith.
Krista White.
Barbara Mugambi.
Calaveo Lewis.
Meredith McClue.
Selena Sepulveda.
Cassie Gatewood.
Alice Zamora.
Letitia Hernandez Sweeney.
Filana Bigay.
Chloe Rothy.
Peter Scopons.
Amanda Luong.
Sierra Salaz.
Falana Hadley.
Ellie Mowbray.
Isabella Smith.
Barbara Tashini.
Mariana Fernandez.
Kyla Hosteen.
Elizabeth Machado Quesada.
Ariana McElroy.
Listar Machigieka.
Aaliyah Jagrup.
Karis Norfleet.
Lucille Pena.
Christian McIntyre.
Chantel Verovanek.
Brandy Torp.
Hannah Dyseth.
Hadarlin Herrera.
Guadalupe Vasquez.
Stephanie Lopez.
David Solomon.
Dr. Priscilla Webster.
Maria Marcela Ortiz.
Analia Taylor.
Jennifer Martinez.
Adarlin Herrera.
Maximus Hidon.
Katia Bowden.
Tammy Lynn Christian Garza.
Rhiannon Aguirre.
Deanna Mendoza.
Gwendolyn Keiko.
Nicholas Reynoso.
Dareth Lewis.
Anastasia Maestas.
Ileana Bauer.
Stephen Sedlock.
Ann Lee Clark.
Kimberly Cummins.
Melissa Brown.
Nicole Shoup.
Donna Hernandez Cardenas.
Gabriel Romero.
Emily Kane.
Alicia O'Brien.
Brianna Reza.
Crystal Garragan.
Megan Perkins.
Casey Woods.
Kyra Arneson.
Sierra Dean.
Yadira Bautista.
River Noor.
Sherry Pete.
Liliana Garcia.
Charlotte Robinson Perkins.
Erica Q.
Isabella Kirk.
Isabella Parks.
Stanley Mukai.
Emmons Brown.
Julia Stapleford.
Jennifer Claffey.
Amber Merriman.
Deborah Mitchell.
Alexandra Dixon.
Veronica Leal.
Kaisha Dixon.
Abigail Meyer.
Thomas Flores.
Sabrina Schaefer.
Grisha Ordonez.
Brenda Colleen Washington Bell.
Anna Underwood.
Palmer Tua.
Adriana Reyes.
Carrie Wells.
Jaden Hart.
Amelia Finley.
Ariel Hoffner.
Kaylin Thompson.
Matthew Navarro.
Emma Ramos.
Ashlyn Cox.
Noah Jimenez.
Eddie Sharakowski.
Bernice Jackson.
Nikki Keppers.
Tiana Shai.
Maribel Ciesa.
Kelsey Stevens Hatfield.
London Hubbard.
Yvonne Martinez.
Megan Anglin.
Kristen Boone.
Emma Shield.
April Byers.
Geneva Barrett.
Anthony Stanfield.
Georgie Evans.
Jenna Meyer.
Linda Yeager.
Melinda Full.
Brennan Begay.
Faith Caraboa.
Alicia Solorio.
Grace Jackson.
Hannah Christian.
Liz Velez.
Alexis Lexi Stevens.
Reginald Burbank.
Mackenzie Mason.
Elizabeth Bryan.
Elizabeth Roxanne Jensen.
Leslie DeLucio.
Issa Abbott.
Christina Calburn.
Sandra Imani.
Carrie-Ann Acosta.
Isaiah Brown.
Ariana Parker.
Amy Perkins.
Jeremiah Linsdale.
Giselle Matthews.
Ryan Lindale.
Hannah Celia.
Christina Treviso.
Brenna Molesbury.
Kayana Bolton.
Dawn Smith.
Lily Olivier.
Brooke Noel.
Jade Vergen.
Jamie Willett.
Susie Grubbs.
Alicia Niemer.
Danielle Wilson.
Leonidas A. Escobar.
Lakeisha Steinsteffer.
Emily Carroll.
Jesse Libby.
Smith Arga Argasa.
Alexa King.
Michaela Schroeder.
Holly Johnson.
Carla Roshin.
Ella Lunsford.
Messina Gilbert.
Josiah Colburn.
Justina Marsh.
While we allow time for our inductees to cross the stage, if there is any inductee whose name was not called, or potentially we messed it up so bad you didn't know it was you, please feel free to approach the stage so we can call and celebrate you at this time. All right, let's give it up one more time for our 2023 inductee class for the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. Our board may return to their seats. Again, our sincerest congratulations. Reaching this point is no small feat. Again, this is not a club or organization that you can say, this looks great, let me join, let's be a part of this. Your invitation must be earned. And it is earned by not one lucky class, one great grade here or there, but a dedicated commitment to academic excellence and the journey that you are on. So congratulations to our inductees, both those here in the room and those joining us live from YouTube from all over the country. Congratulations. All right, and now it's time to make it official. So please join me as we welcome up Natalie Osborne, Dr. David Dean, and Andrea Lopez as they take us through our pinning ceremony.
The NSCS pin represents all of your hard work, effort, and commitment to furthering your education. The symbol you see on this pin is a torch emerging from an open book and 3 stars, all surrounded by a laurel. The torch symbolizes guidance and leadership. The open book represents learning and scholarship. The laurel is a sign of honor and distinction. And the 3 stars represent the pillars upon which the society is built: scholarship, leadership, and service. These pillars serve as symbols of the society's founding principle that with scholarship comes a responsibility to provide leadership and service to the community.
All right, inductees, you may remove your pin from your packet there. Please go ahead and stand up. Be very official here. Okay, I want you to repeat after me as we go through the oath of membership. I do solemnly pledge to do my best to continue my scholastic excellence, to be a leader, committed to serving others. Furthermore, I pledge to promote and preserve the 3 pillars of the society: scholarship, leadership, and service.
Congratulations. You are all officially members of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. We hope you will continue to achieve great things throughout your time here at GCU and years beyond. Let's give our new members a round of applause. You may now be seated.
The academic merits of students on campus takes up the question of officer nominations at its next meeting. Susie wants to raise the GPA requirements for officers.
NSCS is completely different.
It's just a movement. It's a phenomenon.
You can grow in NSCS.
My expectations have been blown out of the water.
We've been able to build an organization that exceeds people's expectations, and I think that's what we always need to be striving to do.
NSCS is an experience. You become part of a family.
It's really exhilarating. You can see the spark in their eye and they're wanting to talk to you about their latest idea. And there are people that are your mentors, there are people that are your friends.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I gained from it.
Scholarships and resources and discounts.
I've gained leadership opportunities.
They offer community service events.
It also strengthens you as a person, and that's what's really going to count in the professional world.
Being a part of NSCS has pushed me and challenged me to be bold and to embrace the potential of what crazy ideas can become.
This is not your average honor society.
Today, I would like to share a scripture that is related to NSCS's pillars of leadership and service. Mark 10:43 through 45 states, "Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you must be the slave of everyone else. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many." Let's take Jesus' example and serve one another with the talents, gifts, and wisdom the Lord our God gave us. Right now, we are working towards our future aspirations. But remember, when they come to fruition, let's do everything as if we were serving the Lord rather than for people. That means doing everything with excellence. So, if you are a future entrepreneur, find the best solution to fulfill your customer needs. If you are a future doctor or nurse, take care of your patients and treat them well. If you are an engineer, be innovative. As you can all see, we have the collective purpose of contributing to society and meeting the needs of all people. But we each have a unique calling to make a difference in our own remarkable way. Now, welcome to the stage our Executive Vice President, Jason, and our Vice President of Community Engagement, Danielle.
Thank you, Ariana, for those words of encouragement. Congratulations, inductees. As newly inducted members of NSCS, you have many opportunities to make the most of your membership. From more than $1 million in external scholarship funding, to mentorship and networking within the NSCS community, to career opportunities and discounts that every student could use, your NSCS membership never stops working to benefit you. While the scholarships and discounts are a tremendous benefit of being a member of NSCS, the people you will meet and connect with through NSCS are truly invaluable. Our NSCS chapter works closely with our members and with the national office to host events, service activities, and networking opportunities throughout the year. Please access and actively engage within your NSCS member portal and seek out updates and announcements regarding opportunities to further engage with our local chapter. And if you haven't already done so, you can find us on Facebook at the National Society of Collegiate Scholars at Grand Canyon University and at GCU NSCS on Instagram. Thank you.
This year is off to a great start, and I couldn't be prouder of our chapter. At GCU, our chapter was actively involved in various service initiatives, locally and nationwide, throughout our Canvas the Community Service Week campaign in October. And we have had a great response with member engagement in our virtual member meetings and speaker events to date. For the month of November, our chapter is partnering with St. Vincent de Paul, a local nonprofit committed to feed, clothe, house, and heal our most vulnerable community members experiencing homelessness and hunger. Throughout November, our NSCS chapter is hosting a food and blanket drive on campus, collecting non-perishable food items and new blankets in bins located in our Honors Lounge in the Tech Building, room 324. On November 30th, we will be donating these items to St. Vincent de Paul as they prepare to support our community through the winter months ahead. After the new year, our chapter will be sponsoring and hosting the national campaign alongside NSCS called Integrity Week. This will take place between February 5th through the 9th, and we invite all of you to join this initiative wherever you may be.
right, so that was a glimpse at last spring's Integrity Week campaign, which is not only an on-campus effort, it is a nationwide effort for all of our students near and far. So you can look forward to that campaign coming up, as Danielle said, starting on February 5th this spring. What you saw there was a physical banner where our students take the Integrity Pledge, a commitment to truth, character, and honesty. And what we do for our online students is a digital banner, which actually collected thousands of signatures the last time we deployed that in the spring. So be on the lookout to see that in your Halo classrooms over the spring months, so you can participate with the digital banner. Again, also sharing words of encouragement and thoughts of integrity during this week. So as our ceremony comes to an end, again, I just want to say congratulations for all of the work, the effort, the dedication, the grit, the perseverance, everything that it took to get here and to be recognized for this achievement here today. To celebrate immediately following this ceremony, we will have you exit out these double doors directly behind us, and we will have a reception to follow. So we strongly encourage you to take this time to celebrate, soak it in, really appreciate the moment, and also feed yourself with some food. So we have refreshments. We will be moving our photo stations outside here in just a few moments so that you can continue taking photos. How many of you guys traveled from out of state to be with us here today? All right. So this is our winter, hence the coats. But for some of you guys, this is beautiful weather. So we do have our Antelope Reception Center, which will be hosting campus tours. If this is your first time or it's been a while since you've been here on campus, I strongly encourage you to take a tour, check it out. It is absolutely gorgeous outside, so no more beautiful time to do that. I encourage you to make yourselves at home. Baseball is playing a scrimmage behind us, so if you want to check out the last few innings of that game, that's a great spot to stop too. But again, refreshments to follow. Exit these doors directly behind me. Make sure you tag us in all of your fun photos with @GCU NSCS. Take that campus tour. You are here. You might as well explore campus, dive in. There's amazing eateries down Lopes Way. So if you're looking for more food, a late early dinner, whatever it might be, please make yourself at home. We are excited to host you on campus for today. Last and not least, we do have, again, online viewers joining us on YouTube who could not physically be here today, but they are just as much a part of this community as all of us. So can we please do another round of applause to our online viewers joining us from afar. And again, one last and final congratulations to you all. Have a blessed day, and Lopes up!